Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Welcome into the show. It's a Thursday edition of the show. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jared Construction Studios. Right on time, right on budget. Visit jared-construction.com. We are going to forego all of the normal intros this morning because we got breaking news. Let's go to Jeff Jenkins in the newsroom. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, Dave. Yes, of course, we've been following this since Saturday up at the Rolling Thunder mine near Swiss in Nicholas County when that mine flooded and 17 miners were able to escape, but the foreman there was not able to get out. And so a rescue effort has been underway, mostly concentrated on pumping out water from the flooded mine. And Governor Morrissey just tweeted this about less than 10 minutes ago that they had gotten enough water out at 6 o'clock this morning to be able to enter the mine. And then they did find the mine foreman, and he did not make it. Steve Lipscomb is his name. And so the governor putting out a release about that. Let me just quote a little bit of that. The team began their search, examining every section as they advanced underground. At 7:37 a.m., one two-man team located the body of missing miner foreman Steve Lipscomb. Crews had worked tirelessly around the clock in 12-hour shifts to search for their colleague. And then he went on to say, quote, "Today we grieve for this terrible tragedy and honor the life of one of our own. This morning's news is absolutely heartbreaking." And so the governor put out that statement. We've got the story, and you can read the full statement at wvmetronews.com. But, yeah, you knew it was going to be, you were hoping for the best, right? Yeah. But knew, the longer it went, the more difficult it might be. And we don't know, the circumstances around his death.
All that will come out later.
There'll be an investigation. Sure, did he drown or whatever, happened there tragically. But not a positive ending there for him. And we don't have where he's from with this release. We had learned that he's, I think, from the Elkview area. That's what I don't have that confirmed yet, but that's some of the things we've heard in leading up to this. But he was an experienced miner. He was a foreman there. I think he had at least 20 years in the mines. So we'll find out more about that, but that's just breaking this morning.
All right. And of course, the talk line guys, and we'll have more, we'll have more in midday as well. And this, the governor, I think at this time was scheduled to speak at this energy summit, which is going on in Charleston. So I don't know if that's been delayed or what. Of course, he and the first lady making that announcement earlier today will keep you updated. Well,
and just from all the stories that we have done, they were, as you look at it, they did everything they could, right? They had the resources there very quickly. They started pumping that water out very quickly. Started that on Saturday. Some of those things on Saturdays. There was just so much water that had filled the mine, and exactly why it filled it and how come there's that much water. That's all going to be part of the investigation, obviously, coming up. But again, just for Mr. Thoughts and prayers are with Mr. Lipscomb's family right now, and those who knew him, fellow workers there.
And that community too. And there's something, I come from a coal mining background, as do many of our listeners to this show. It is a close-knit family that people that aren't in it may not necessarily understand.
Right.
And so the entire state of West Virginia is grieving at this time.
Yep. Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Go to the website. You can read that. You can read the governor's full statement there, and then we'll obviously have more during the day here.
All right, Jeff. Thanks a lot. Okay. Breaking news, and again, it was the news that we didn't want to hear. Obviously, And the governor is speaking, I understand, at this energy summit right now, and he's at the podium as we speak right now. So we'll have more on that on Talkline coming up a little bit later on, certainly on Metro News Midday as well. But again, the breaking news coming within the last 15 minutes or so from the governor is that miner, Nicholas County, has been found dead. All right, let us move on. The phone calls we'll get to a little bit later on if we have any. Of course, we always get texts. Our service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting services courtesy of Tony the Tailor on Virginia Street in Charleston. A couple dates to remember. November the 18th, the end of bolt sale. Save up to 50% off custom suits and jackets. Tony's going to be closed for Thanksgiving, November the 27th and 28th. And the 29th is Small Business Saturday, of course. He will be open for that. And December 4th is the Holiday Trunk Shows. Visit bestmastertailor.com or Tony's Facebook page for more information. Coming up a little bit later on, State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is going to join us. Also, Robb is going to join us from our sister station, 96.1 KWS, to talk about next week's turkey drop. That is happening 1 week from today on our parking lot here at 1111 Virginia Street, East Charleston. I want to welcome to the show now, though, the mayor of South Charleston, Frank Mullens Jr. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, as always.
And thank you for being here. And, I'm going to give you an opportunity because, again, you came in at 9 o'clock this morning, and we were going to talk about some positive things in South Charleston. This is certainly not the way we wanted to start the show today, but I'm going to give you an opportunity if you would like to say anything, on behalf of the city of South Charleston about the miner who was found deceased in Nicholas County.
Well, what's sad news, and I thought you hit the nail on the head. I was thinking the same thing as what you mentioned, was that obviously your heart breaks for the family, and heart, your thoughts and prayers go out to the family, but the whole community, as you mentioned, it's a community. It affects the whole community. It's such a tight knit group, as you mentioned, and so it's a tough day. And I just heard it when I walked in here, and so it was it kind of hits you kind of hard, even from South Charleston.
Yeah.
It hits you. It hits you kind of hard. So our whole community, thoughts and prayers will be with the family and that community.
Indeed. And again, they're going to have more on that. The governor's speaking now. We'll have more on that coming up on Talkline with Meadows and Wilson at 10:06. And then Amanda and I will, of course, have it in full detail coming up after 10 or after noon today on Metro News Midday. All right, let's get to some other things. Reason I brought you in here today, wanted to let you tell us about some things going on in South Charleston. Got a lot of exciting things going on. So just take it from the top. Every time I turn around, man, I pick up, there's a business opening, there's a ribbon cutting. Of course, you got the mall project. So where do you want to start?
Well, that's it. I mean, we're going through, it seems like we're going through a rush here with new business coming to South Charleston, which is a great thing. Matter of fact, when I leave your show today, I'm going to another ribbon cutting.
Okay.
Going to another one this morning.
And what is that?
In Spring Hill, a Little Caesars built a new store in Spring Hill. Okay. So we're going to go down and cut the ribbon on that here at
do they say pizza, ribbon?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a new restaurant in our city. It's Little Caesars was already there, but they built a new restaurant there, and so that's what we're going to do. But sometimes, Dave, I've mentioned this at these kind of ribbon cutting. You always, you're tickled to death to get the new business in there. When you have a business here that reinvests in your community, that's every bit as important.
Well, and I think, Mayor, it goes to show, and this is a franchise, and we love because they employ a lot of people. We love our small businesses too. Yeah. But it says something about South Charleston that the business wanted to say, hey, we need to pick up our game a little bit, do a little refurbishing, whatever. Yeah. Obviously, business is good, or they wouldn't be doing that.
That's exactly right, and that's what I mean by the reinvestment. Yeah. Those companies that do that, that's a big deal as well. So we're thrilled with that as well. But yeah, we've been on kind of a roll, and it's not just the Park Place. And I think maybe seen a little bit of a domino effect of that, which I've said numerous times over the years. That's going to be one thing we're going to all see is a domino effect. What's going on at Park Place? But if you go, speaking of Park Place, if you go by there, you mentioned what's going on. So obviously, the Kroger store, which is going up tremendously fast. They've already moved their opening date up a month into May of next year instead of June. So it's really going well. And there's 3 other buildings going under construction there as we speak as well. 2 of them will house about 7 businesses apiece. Will be 14 there. And then you have Mission Barbecue getting ready to start on the corner just directly across the street from Chick-fil-A. There will be the other 2 buildings I mentioned. They'll house some of the smaller businesses, the 3,000 to 5,000 square foot. Although we've announced Skechers Outlet coming. It's about an 8,000 square foot. It'll be the biggest one of those roofs there. So Huey Magoo's is coming. Pizza and Cream, which is I think a really neat store. We love all of our businesses coming to Park Place, but Pizzas and Cream is a West Virginia business out of Clay County. If you Google them and see their story, it basically was created out of a brick oven built on their property out in Clay County. So it's a pretty cool story to have that kind of homegrown business coming to Park Place.
What is leading all this? I mean, why are people wanting to come to South Charleston?
Well, I hope that it's because we have focused from the day I got elected back in 2007. One of the things that we really wanted to stress was to be in a business-friendly community and all that implies. And I hope that that's a big part of it. I think it is never one thing, though. It's always a big package deal why people want to come here. It's never about taxes only. It's never about, location only or parking only. It's kind of the whole package, from free parking to our location to our tax credits we have on the book for new and expanding businesses, to just our willingness to serve I think our response to business community when they call us about something. It could be something as small as a cracked sidewalk, but you respond to it. You don't respond 6 months from now. You respond tomorrow. Yeah. And, you want to get things done for them and get things done quickly. So I think all that stuff, you wrap it up in a nice bow and you make sure it's here to stay. That's the other thing, Dave. You can't just do it for a little while. You have to prove to everyone it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. We got staying power here, and I think people realize now that we have staying power.
We had a couple texts here for you. One says, any plans for the old Kroger building?
Yes. The old Kroger building is already backfilled. I can't make the announcement to who it is right now, but there'll be 2 retailers going on there. One of them will be new to West Virginia. So we're excited about that, and that's one of the things I stressed from day one when we did this thing with Kroger Marketplace coming across the street, was to make sure we backfill Kroger and not have an empty space over there. So that's been done.
We had a text here. This was a personal text from a Delegate J.B. Akers, who said, thank the mayor for helping to coordinate Thanksgiving meals in a couple of schools in my district.
Yeah, and thanks J.B. as well. I mean, he texted me and reached out and kind of got that ball rolling, and so we it's a good program, and so thank you, JB. I appreciate that. Another team effort.
Another question about the Kroger says that they called it the Gucci Kroger. Now we got to get this straightened out, okay?
Yeah.
Gucci Kroger is out at Ashton Place. Now in Tays Valley we have the Prada Kroger.
Okay.
So you guys are going to have to come up with another name. All right. I don't know. I'm not sophisticated enough to come up with something. We got to come up with another name.
I'm just biggest and best. Biggest and best. There you go.
But it says that Kroger that they're building in South Charleston, are they going to sell weed eaters too, because it's huge?
Well, their product line is going to go above and beyond groceries, because it is a marketplace and the only one in West Virginia. So that's kind of why we agreed to do this.
When you say above and beyond, Mayor, what
well, they will sell other things. They'll sell, if you go to different marketplaces around.
I've never been to one.
I've only been to one in Hilton Head. We go down on vacation and we went to one down there, and depending on where it's at, I think is what they sell. And down Hilton Head, obviously it's all beach and beachwear and those kind of things that go along with that community. But like outdoor furniture, clothing, just a variety of different things that they'll sell there. It's almost like a section of the Kroger's, almost like a mini Walmart type situation.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
South Charleston Mayor Frank Mullens, we had to catch you a little bit short today because of the breaking news, but I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Appreciate you guys.
Good things going on. Keep doing good stuff. Speaking of things around South Charleston, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Insurance agents in demand of the state and all across the country. Bridge Valley can help you take that first step. Their insurance pre-sales licensure course prepares you to set for the state-required property and casualty insurance licensure exam to start your career in this ever-growing field. Check out bridgevalley.edu for details. Bridge Valley Community and Technical College, your career starts here. We will take a break and be back. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is here, and of course Robb Reel from her sister station 96.1 KWS. We are 1 week away from Turkey Drop on our parking lot here. We'll talk to Robb about that and more coming up on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just built us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
At Toyota, supporting our nation's heroes isn't just a promise, it's a purpose. Through the Toyota Veterans Association, over 1,500 members nationwide provide mentorship, advocacy, and career pathways for veterans transitioning from service to success. Right here in West Virginia, Toyota proudly honors our fallen through the Gold Star Mother's Apple Orchard, a living memorial for reflection and remembrance. And our commitment continues, supporting local heroes, families, and foundations that make our communities stronger. Toyota, driven to serve those who served us.
9:22, and all this month we are doing our part to try to salute veterans because that's what we do here in West Virginia. WCHS invites you to join us in saluting the heroes who served our country. You can call our text line, as strange as that sounds. You can do it, 304-935-5008, and leave a voicemail sharing your gratitude for a veteran in your life. We're going to play back those messages all month long, or if you prefer email, go to our website, WCHSnetwork.com, and you can drop us an email. Just let us know about the veteran in your life. Doesn't have to be any long 5-6 paragraphs. Just I want to honor my spouse. I want to honor my father, my child, whatever the case may be. Go to WCHSnetwork.com or call 304-935-5008, and it will prompt you if you call the number to leave a voicemail, or you can just write it out by going to our website, WCHS, and Toyota Motor Manufacturing, West Virginia. We care about our veterans. So the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Let me knock out a couple of text here. South Charleston, it says it's called out migration. That's why South Charleston is such a success. The big news, of course, this morning just broke about 30 minutes or so ago. Governor Patrick Morrisey says approximately 6 a.m. this morning, water levels in the Rolling Thunder mine, Nicholas County, receded sufficiently enough for rescue crews to safely enter. And at 7:37 this morning, a two-man team located the body of the missing miner. He was a foreman by the name of Steve Lipscomb. We don't have any further information about that, but his body was recovered this morning. So, State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is here. Mike, I want to start with that. Give you an opportunity to weigh in on the death of Mr. Lipscomb. They discovered his body this morning.
Yeah, that's just devastating news. So sorry to hear about that. Young man who was just going to work to earn a living, and has this sort of tragic end, and deep in that mine, and just so sorry for his family and friends and loved ones. It's devastating.
Yeah, and it's a time when we can have our differences, and we frequently do in West Virginia and across the country. But one of the things that I like to think anyway, maybe I'm an optimist here, but one of the things that I like to think is that West Virginians can put things aside for a moment, and to grieve, because we don't know anything about his. He was a 20-year mine foreman. We do know that. We know his name. Presuming family and things of that nature, and Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative on this issue, we can all come together. We all grieve today.
It absolutely doesn't matter what your ideology is in times like this. This is just a guy who was just going to work to make a living and met this tragic end. And it's horrible, and it's a very dangerous job when we keep that in mind.
Yeah,
they're just putting on those their boots every day, going to work to make sure that America has power, and oftentimes risk their lives in doing so.
And we don't want, again, there will be a full investigation as to what happened, as far as how this happened, and did he suffer? Was it sudden? We're not really worried about that now. We can get into all that a little bit later,
as there should be.
But there will 100%. The family deserves that, and everybody deserves that. But I think the fact, knowing what I know about the coal mining industry, if he was a foreman, and this has happened so many times in other mine tragedies in the past, foremans are normally the last ones out.
They're going to get everybody
out. They take
first.
care of their men first, and I don't know if that's what happened in this case, but if I were a betting person, I would say that's probably what happened in this case. But we'll find all that later.
Tragic news, definitely.
Indeed, I do want to mention here just real quickly. You and I had an opportunity last night to attend a great event here in Charleston. The Charleston Urban Works Urbanite Awards, honoring some great businesses and individuals doing good stuff here in Charleston. Great to see the late Kitty Dooley honored, as well as the big award going to Adam Crayson of ZMM Architects and Engineers. Woody Woods and I got to MC the event. It was a great event last night, and we weren't hanging out together, just so you know. We just happened to be there at the same time.
We hung out a little bit.
Yeah, we did hang out a little bit last night. A little bit. But it was a great event for Charleston. It really was.
It is, and it always is. And Charleston Urban Works does such a great job of lifting up small businesses and, businesses that have been here a while, new businesses. And that's a great night each year for the Urbanite Awards to honor the city of Charleston and the people that make this city so great. Yeah. The mayor was in attendance. Of course, she presented the Urbanite Award that you mentioned went to Adam Crayson, who with ZMM does rebuilt the Charleston skyline, really completely
and other
rebuilt
skylines.
Charleston, and just done great work for the community. And of course, we honored Kitty Dooley. Unfortunately, posthumously honored Kitty Dooley that we lost just recently. And what a great person and an advocate for Charleston and all of West Virginia. Just people everywhere. That she was a real champion for justice and somebody I considered a good friend and somebody I often called for advice on things. And she is going to be missed, but she was definitely deserving of the honor that she received last night.
All right. So the shutdown is over.
Yes, it is for now. Yeah. For now. Now, I will say I disagree with the if you want to put up air quotes here, you can't see them on the radio. This was the strategy of the 7 Democrats and the 1 independent that I felt. I think we could have gotten a deal on health care, and that's what's important. West Virginians are set to see the largest premium increases in the entire country. It's not just going to affect the folks in the marketplace, because when you're talking about increases that high, when you have a small business owner or an independent contractor whose premium goes from $400 some a month to $2,000 some a month, what's going to happen is they're going to cease to be insured. They're not going to be, nobody can afford that, and that's going to pull people out of the pool and cause everybody's premiums to go up. It is a crisis. That's why it is so disappointing to see this, this one beautiful bill, whatever you want to call it, which is what we're really talking about, to see that not just supported by Jim Justice and Shelley Moore Capito and Carol Miller and Riley Moore, but they were real champions for it. And it's going to disproportionately hurt West Virginians. But yes, the good news is that, the SNAP benefits should go out. Federal employees are going back to work. Air traffic controllers are going back to work. It's safer to fly. That's all good news. And also it brought the House of Representatives back in. And what did we see yesterday is the House Oversight Committee released a huge drop of emails that was horrible and just disgusting, and put the president placed him at Jeffrey Epstein's house. Exactly what it said. Spent hours with one of the victims. Victims meaning girls, not young women, but girls who were trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. And it shows that the president not only knew about it, but he was participating in it.
And you know what the Republicans are going to say, though, is that this was cherry picked, that it was just certain.
Well, of course they're going to release. They released 10,000 emails yesterday. Okay, of course the ones that people are talking about are the ones that implicate the chief executive of the United States.
Understood.
He's the president. That's why people are talking about that. But in all the other emails that were released by the Republicans, there's nothing in there that exonerates him.
He said.
And I'll tell you, I would love to take calls and texts over this, too. Because I don't see how you defend this. I really don't.
Okay. And again, that's one of the things that I respect about you. One of the few. I'm kidding. One of the things I do respect about you is when you come and you sit down this microphone, you always say, I'll take phone calls and I'll take texts. So they're open phone lines. If you'd like to talk to Mr. Pushkin this morning, you are certainly more than welcome to.
It shows, if anything, it shows that there was a real relationship between President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. They were more than just acquaintances. Spent hours at his house.
He says he kicked him,
victim.
and he did. The president did say that he kicked out Epstein. He kicked him off Mar-a-Lago at one point.
He said that. No, his press secretary said that yesterday.
No, that's been said before.
The president.
He said that
for varying reasons.
Yeah.
There was some. First, it was over a business deal. Okay, then it changed. Then he was
stealing employees.
Because they were taking girls who worked at Mar-a-Lago and taking them to Epstein Island. That was in the emails yesterday. Said he knew about the girls. That's why he asked I don't know how to pronounce her name, Maxwell, asked her to, asked her to stop.
Right.
Asked her to stop what? Taking, and I'm not going to say they're young women. They're not. They were girls. They're underage girls, and taking them from Mar-a-Lago to Epstein Island. So that's what he kicked him out over. There is nothing in there that exonerates this president.
All right. Well, if you want to weigh in on it, you're more than welcome to. I have a text here for you. It says, can you ask Pushkin if the Democrats are the Washington Generals to the Republicans' Harlem Globetrotters? Right now, they seem like paid opposition there to give people the illusion of choice.
Well, I would say that the Washington, look, I love the Globetrotters, and the Washington Generals never win, but I'd say, look what happened last Tuesday. So I'd say, no, we're not the Washington Generals.
Okay.
Not even the Washington Commanders. We win more than that.
Pushkin would make a better governor than the one we have now. At least he's from West Virginia, says a texter. Somebody's already got you,
right here in Charleston.
Somebody's got you running for governor.
Well, we'll talk later.
Really?
The governor's not up for re-election this year. I'm focused on 2026.
Okay. All right.
And giving voters choices up and down the ballot. And we'll see what happens. If you look at what happened in neighboring Virginia, every single county in Virginia trended Democratic last week. So we like our chances here. The important thing is to give voters choices, and that's what we plan to do.
Texas, very few people care about any of this, talking about the Epstein files. I mean, I don't like Trump, but this isn't even a story and won't move the needle one bit.
I disagree. I think, first of all, we're talking about children who are victims of sex trafficking. I think that we should care about this, and I think a lot of people do care about this. And I'll tell you one person who really cares about it, and that's President Trump, and that's why he's trying to block the release of all of this information. That's why he has his FBI director, Kash Patel, who has come a long way on this issue since before he became the director of the FBI. He was screaming to release the files, but now he's singing a different tune now that he's in a position of power. So Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, supposed to be working for us. Apparently last night they had pulled yesterday they pulled a member of Congress, Boebert, into the Situation Room to try to coerce her to pull her name off of that discharge petition, which she didn't. And now, because they swore in the new congresswoman from Arizona, they had the required amount of names on the discharge petition to bring a vote to the floor. I will say I'm disappointed that Carol Miller and Riley Moore did not sign that petition, but they will have a chance to redeem themselves because there is going to be a full vote, and you'll see how many Republicans do care about it. To your texter there, because I think a lot of Republicans are going to vote to release those files, and then it will move to the Senate, and then we'll see how our senators vote. We'll see how Jim Justice votes on that.
What would you say?
Somebody who was a high school girls basketball coach. Let's see if he protects the girls that he used to coach and votes the right way on it. We'll see how Shelley Moore Capito votes on this if they release the information, so these victims can have justice.
What would you say to those that say, look, that I'm not necessarily agreeing with this, but there will be those that say that during the Biden administration that they could have also released them as well.
Well, not this information that came out yesterday. I don't believe they had it. And first of all, it was part of a pending court case, I believe, against Maxwell. And this new data dump came from the Epstein estate, and of course they didn't have that before he was murdered. I'm sorry, before he committed suicide. And it's just something that they more recently had. But you know what? The point is, it should be released as soon as it should be released. It should be released now.
And you as a state,
I don't care who is on it. Release it. I know that you're going to ask. Yes, yeah. I don't care. Republican, Democrat.
I respect that.
If they're implicated on there, they should face the consequences.
I respect that. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Fresh Air Filters of Taze Valley. Fresh Air, your trusted filter experts for both your home or business. 304-440-1104. Visit freshairfilters.us because everyone deserves fresh air. Text says Pushkin, there's no hope for MAGAs. They're so deep in the cult, there's nothing that will change their minds.
Well, I think a lot of the MAGA movement was calling for the release of the Epstein files. I mean, I know Kash Patel did. I know J.D. Vance did. Pam Bondi did, but they're not all now singing a different tune. So I think a lot of people that consider themselves part of the MAGA movement would definitely be for the protection of children and to bring justice to pedophiles So I disagree with that take. I think there are a lot of people that consider themselves MAGA that agree with me on this. That we need to release the files, get all the information, let the cards fall where they lie, and prosecute those who are guilty.
Text says Republicans don't care that the sex abuser is a sex abuser who partied with sex trafficking pedophiles. Republicans would gladly let Trump abuse their kids, wives, daughters, moms, etc. There's video of Trump partying with Epstein. Trump said it was fun to party with Epstein. Republicans have no honor or integrity, says a texter. All right, somebody sent me a big graph here. It's really hard for me to read those on the air. I do appreciate it, but I'll take a look at that later. Text says both parties will be devastated if that list is released.
Release it.
That's
release it. I'm chair of the West Virginia Democratic Party. I'll go on the record. Release it. Everything that you have.
Texas Florida guy here, tell Mike there's nothing bad in the files on Trump because the Democrats would have released anything bad before the election. The girl in the story said Trump did nothing wrong, as did Maxwell.
And she's no longer with us, the girl in the story, unfortunately. She apparently took her own life.
Tim Burchett proposed as a texture to release the Epstein files yesterday. Democrats blocked it.
Let's talk about that. He was doing that so they wouldn't have to go on record. The Democrats want a roll call vote because people need to go on the record. We need to know how Riley Moore votes on this. We need to know how Carol Miller votes on this. So that was a cowardly move to try to do a voice vote. Look, I'm in the legislature. I understand what that means. That means nobody goes on the record on how they vote. And they could just cower in the back of the room and not say anything and let it pass without their vote because they're afraid of the president. Instead of doing their job and standing up to protect children, they're afraid of this president. So, no, they need to go on the record, and that was the right call. We're going to get a vote. It's the House rules. The petition had enough signatures without Riley Moore's signature, without Carol Miller's signature, because they seated the Congresswoman who was elected, 7 weeks ago, because they finally seated her. They yesterday. Had enough. Yeah, they seated her yesterday. She signed a petition, and now there will be a vote, and it will be a roll call vote.
Text says Democrats hid the name of the victim in the Epstein emails. This is her testimony exonerating President Trump. They did not want the public to see it. Where was your demands to release it? All over Biden's 4 years.
There's nothing in there that exonerates President Trump. If there was, he would be putting it on government websites.
Text says, hold on a second. There's Dave, thank God there are still a few Democrats that had some common sense that helped the government to open up. This is why the Democrats in West Virginia are minority in leadership.
I think the point is the health care issue. And Republicans need to go to the table, and I hope they hold their end of the bargain and take a vote on extending the subsidies and tax credits for the Affordable Care Act. Otherwise, a whole lot of West Virginians are not going to be able to see a doctor if they get sick. Their health care will not be affordable for them. When you're talking about going from roughly $400 a month, and I've heard from constituents that have told me these exact numbers, around $400 a month with the subsidies, you lose those, it goes up to over $2,000 a month. Nobody can afford that. Nobody can afford that. And that's a crisis. And that's what the fight was about. So I think it was a mistake to go to the table without making that, getting a promise of that, because I don't think the Republicans are going to make.
So you have an issue with the Fetterman and some of the others, is what you're saying, right? You don't. You tend to side. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you tend to side with some of the other,
with the majority of Democrats, not just in Senate but across the country.
Okay, all right.
So we care about people. Let me finish. We care about people's access to health care.
Let me finish text here, and then I got to get you on the road. Text says, Dave, Mike needs to get out of politics. He's like a broken record. Anything to put down President Trump and the Republicans, and the people know it.
Hey, read the emails. Read what was released and come back and tell me that you support that. It's disgusting.
The Democrats says
this is about protecting children.
The Democrat says the texter made the United States citizens suffer for 43 days. Thankful a few Democrats couldn't torture the citizens anymore and voted to open up the government. Text says, thank you, Mike Pushkin. Shame on Congress. Unwilling and unable to do their job. As one representative said, they had a plan for health care. To date, they have done nothing to take away affordable health insurance during open enrollment. It's cruel and pathetic on all of them.
Can I throw something in there? The Republicans have had 15 years to come up with a better plan than the ACA. 15 years. And they've had what we say in my culture, bubkis. Bupkis. That's what they've
First
come
time
up
that's
with.
ever been said on this show. All right.
I'm glad I could be the first. Break barriers on here, but they've come up with absolutely nothing. For those of you that don't speak Yiddish out there, it means nothing. They got nothing. Nothing on healthcare. 15 years they've had a chance to come up with a plan.
All right. Two more texts here. Text says, do you think that the government should have remained closed?
I think that the Republicans need to come to the table on health care. And I think that Shelley Moore Capito and Jim Justice and Riley Moore and Carol Miller need to realize that their state, the state that they are supposed to be representing, West Virginia, is going to be the most devastated by this failure to provide a plan on health care, to let these subsidies just run out. And we are going to see premiums skyrocket in this state. And a lot of people aren't going to be able to see a doctor. They're not going to be able to get preventative care. It is a crisis for this state. And I think it needs to be treated that way. And these folks need to do something about it.
All right, final text. They were calling for the release when Biden and the Clintons were thought to be on it. MAGAs didn't think Trump was in it because they wear blinders. And Republicans care about children, ? They litigated against funding SNAP. Final 30 seconds.
Here's the proof right here. If this exonerated Trump, he would be releasing it. Instead, he's doing everything that he can to block it. He's trying to block it. He's having his director of the FBI and his attorney general call in Lauren Boebert to the Situation Room, a room that is reserved for when there's an actual war, crisis. And they're calling her into the Situation Room to try to bully her into taking her name off of that petition. And thankfully, she stood up to them like a lot of Republicans are going to do. You're going to see this. A lot of them are going to stand up to them because they know it's wrong. This is about protecting children. That's it. Not about protecting the president of the United States. This is about justice.
All right. We got to leave it there. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me on.
It's 9:43. But Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Your family and locally owned Ford dealership. Ask about X-Plan discount pricing on the purchase of every new Ford. Also offering 130% off Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value for your vehicle. Check them out today off the Hurricane Exit or online at generationsford.com. One destination for every generation, Generations Ford. See dealer for details. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
And looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
It's time to transform your home with the perfect blend of style and function. From cozy carpet, stunning hardwoods, to custom, handcrafted cabinets, Nitro Carpet and Design Center has it all. Whether it's a kitchen revamp or a bathroom facelift, our expert design team will guide you every step of the way. Financing available. Visit us right off the interstate at New Goff Mountain Road in Cross Lanes. Nitro Carpet and Design Center, where your dream home becomes reality. Explore more at nitrocarpet.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Hedrick. As an environmental project manager at CEC, working in West Virginia, the land taught me respect and responsibility. Whether it's navigating complex regulations or overseeing site assessments, I ensure every project thrives. CEC isn't just where I work, it's where I make a difference. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Hey guys, Dave Allen here for the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership. With construction underway and new Fords hitting the lot every day, we're providing our customers with X-Plan discount pricing on the purchase of any and every new Ford. This means you pay what Ford suppliers pay. On top of these market-only discounts, we're also offering up to 130% off Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value for your vehicle. Visit us today off the Hurricane Exit or online at generationsford.com. See dealer for details.
One destination for every generation. Generations Ford.
Welcome back to the show. 14 minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. The Solango Law Light the Night returns to Gomart Ballpark the 21st of November, running through January 1st. Pick up your tickets in advance, and please get your tickets in advance. That's what they're asking you to do. Visit dblightthenight.com for more information. Of course, the big story this morning, breaking within the last hour or so, the body of that miner in Nicholas County was found. 7:37 a.m., a two-man team located the body of the missing miner. He was foreman Steve Lipscomb, trapped in the Rolling Thunder mine in Nicholas County on Saturday. And you know the story by now. The governor and the first lady said in their statement they are heartbroken to learn of the tragic loss, keeping Mr. Lipscomb's family and friends in prayers. And more details are going to come out about this later. It was 20 years of experience Mr. Lipscomb had, and it is believed, and there are various places that are reporting this, that he and I said this. It's believed that he died in saving his men, because that's what my informant do. Mm-hmm. And that's 100% what they do. You see it in military operations, you see it in whatever, and so. They're going to have more on that coming up on Talk Line at 10:06 this morning. Of course, Amanda and I will have more on that coming up on Metro News Midday as well. Let me knock out a couple of texts before I introduce a man who has a giant turkey on his head in studio. Text says, what a crock. Obamacare was supposed to be the holy grail of health care that solved all this. Remember, if you like your plan, you keep your plan. If you like your doctor, you keep your doctor. We got to pass the bill to see what's in it. Families are going to save $2,500 a year. Get out of here, says a texter. Text says it was not testimony. It's an email. The name is redacted to protect the victim. Keep loving a sex abuser who's an obvious pedophile. MAGA, you're in a cult, says a texter. Gee, Mike, sounds a little bit like you all are the ones that are scared of the president, and now once again you think that you actually have something to get him on, says a texter. Millions of people, says a texter, have gained Medicaid coverage through Affordable Health Care Act, or ACA. That's what's causing medical insurance to skyrocket. Medicaid doesn't cover the cost of care, says a texter. Text says, good morning, Dave. It's a great morning where I have managed to not be a pedophile deviant, a skill not shared with Donald J. Trump. Peter Thiel, former Prince Andrew, the former Secretary of Treasury Summers, New York Times reporters, etc. It's the GOP realizing or admitting yet that Epstein is just another Trump catch-and-kill operation, a strategy he has used for years, says the texter. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Their lead paint inspection risk assessment service is designed to identify and to assess the presence of lead-based paints in buildings and other structures using a three-phase approach of inspection, sampling, lab analysis, and an assessment report. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Robb Reel from our sister station 96.1 KWS joins us in studio this morning. I'm having a serious throwdown discussion here with State Democratic Party Chair Mike Pushkin, and I look through the window, and there's a giant turkey staring through the glass at me. And the first thing I thought was, don't do shrooms before you go on the air, Dave. And then I realized, okay, it's Robb Reel in a turkey hat. So
Of course I'd be the one to have a turkey hat. What's interesting about this one, stand by for double-barreled obscure reference. It appears as though the Cocoa Puffs mascot Sonny had a one-night stand with the Tookie Tookie bird from George of the Jungle.
That may be the most obscure reference ever. Thank you, Eric. You win the obscure championship belt today. So turkey drop happened 1 week from today on our parking lot here at 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston. You know the routine by now. We set up the tents, we set up the vans, and we send our staff outside as best we can. We always get somebody out there, but, you know, there's that whole radio thing gets in the way sometimes. 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. Next Thursday, we're asking people to bring us turkeys.
That's the hardest part to get for the holiday meal, is the frozen turkey, because, well, it's perishable and it takes up a lot of space and it's the most expensive thing. So food banks tend to do very well this time of year with all of the non-perishable and the side type stuff. But we want to get turkeys on tables, and politics aside, even with, you know, bills being voted on and signed, it still takes a while to get a stopped aircraft carrier to start moving again.
100%.
And that's what the federal government is. It is an aircraft carrier, and it's been dead in the water for 43 days, and it's going to take some time to get that moving. So this is going to be an even tougher year for lots of folks here in West Virginia. And we are a no politics zone up real early on 96.1 KWS. So I just want to feed people. That's all I want to do. Yep. I want to feed people.
Regardless of reasons or whatever.
Yeah.
Just feed. And this is something, I mean, this is not, as you said, this has been put on steroids because of the government shutdown. All right. However, we've been doing things similar to this for some time because people are hungry in West Virginia before this ever happened.
This is our third year of the drive-through turkey drop. Appalachian Power Company has come on board, so APCO is powering it. Union Mission is our partner. They do all the heavy lifting, and I don't just mean the frozen turkeys that you hand us through the window, or maybe you've got a bunch in the back. You can just pop the hatch. You do not have to get out of your nice, warm, comfortable vehicle. We will do all of the work of taking the turkeys and stacking them. Cash and check donations are always warmly accepted. Green is always the right color. Whatever you can spare is always the right size. Because let me tell you, Jason and everybody at Union Mission, boy, can they stretch those dollar donations. I mean, they will squeeze.
They're good at it. I mean, those organizations like Union Mission and others, and whether it's the Feeding Hunger Food Bank or whatever, these folks do a lot better with stretch. I want to have them come do my grocery shopping for me because they're a whole lot better at it, Rob, than what we are.
And I can cite all of the data that says how much farther they can make the money go. I also understand that it is human nature to want to have something tangible to hand over. That's why we're doing the frozen turkeys. And for those of you playing our home game, yes, it's kind of inspired by the Turkeys Away episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. That's the turkey drop of it all. But you swing through our parking lot. It will not take you long. So as you're getting ready to do maybe your weekend grocery shopping, maybe you're already planning your own Thanksgiving feast and starting to get the things.
If you're smart, you are.
Yeah.
You don't want to be shopping on Wednesday or Thursday morning, but go ahead.
Well, it'll look like a bomb went off at your local store, but also it takes a while for the turkey to thaw. We have timed out the best arc of how to use these turkeys to have them for folks ready for Thanksgiving. And the Thursday before is the day to do it. And so for our third go-round, I would love for this to be our biggest year.
All right. And it'll be next Thursday. We wanted to go ahead and make, as you said, people are doing grocery shopping this weekend. We want to go ahead and get it on your schedule. We're out on the parking lot. All of our stations are, this is kind of your baby, but we all help. And
yes.
So the Mountain, the Beat, V100, we're all going to be out there, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. next week. I was looking at that for what it's worth, the extended forecast. Next Thursday, a slight chance of rain in 61. It doesn't matter whether it snows or whatever. We're going to be out there anyway. All right, quick text for you. Hey, guys, Kroger frozen whole turkeys are on sale now for only 79 cents a pound. That started yesterday. Not sure if the $25 purchase is required. I know it is for the 99 cents per pound Butterballs. Piggly Wiggly, 29 cents a pound with a $50 purchase.
Wherever you shop, there is a deal on turkeys. I hope that garage freezer has enough room for a couple to hang on for a week, and we'll see you on Thursday.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. We got to take a break. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine, a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetroNews.com, under the podcast menu. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. I'm born and raised right here in West Virginia. I've got 3 daughters, so I absolutely care who comes into my home. Every technician we send to your home has been drug tested and background checked. I guarantee the best client experience or your money back. We have the best team and the best processes built around a 5-star experience. Call Best Virginia today at 681-655-1214.
What if the market drops after you retire? What if healthcare costs continue to rise? What if you outlive your savings? If these questions keep you up at night, you're not alone. And you don't have to figure it out alone. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I specialize in retirement income planning. Let's turn your what-ifs into a plan you can count on. Schedule your free consultation today at 4thAvenueFinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through J.D. McCall Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through J.D. McCall Advisors Incorporated.
Seasons are changing, the kids are back in school, and cooler weather is on the way. But one thing that always remains consistent is the car buying experience at Walker Chevrolet in Nitro. You see, that's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the process at Walker is remarkably simple. They help you find a vehicle that you love at a deal that makes you smile. And don't forget, Walker is still buying cars too. Now, all makes and models are welcome, and they'll give you top dollar for it, even if you plan to buy somewhere else. But why would you? You know, it's good to know that in a world full of constant change, there are some things that remain consistent, and that some car dealers still believe in treating you like a friend with a smile and a handshake. Head to Walker Chevrolet in Nitro, in the shadow of the Interstate Bridge, just off the Nitro exit of I-64. Walker Chevrolet, making friends one deal at a time.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie. $23.99. Find your nearest Huston's for delivery, dine-in, or pick-up at HustonsPizza.com. Also do want to remind you that we still have those tabs available, the QR code, actually, I should say, at WVMetroNews.com. If you'd like to make a donation to the Facing Hunger Food Bank or Mouth and Ear Food Bank, you can go to WVMetroNews.com and scan the QR code. WVRC Media cares about the community. Text says, I remember when the ACA was passed, Republicans did everything they could to make it terrible. Definitely a team effort to give Americans terrible health care options. Text says, hail King Trump 4 more years. Well, it's not exactly 4 more years, TJ. It's not going to be 4 more years.
Well, if he's king, it'll be until he dies.
Yeah. Okay. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. We started the show with breaking news with Jeff Jenkins. I know Jeff's going to come on with you guys, and you guys are going to cover it. The death of the body's been recovered of the coal miner Mr. Lipscomb in Nicholas County. That coming during the 7 o'clock hour this morning. The governor's out with a statement. There'll be more statements on that throughout the day, but it was not the outcome, obviously, that anyone wanted. And the investigations will continue. But your thoughts. You come from a coal mining area just like I do. I mean, this hits every West Virginian, TJ. But for those of us that are from coal country, families who are all in mining, it hits a little closer to home.
You go underground and you take a risk. You know that. Yeah. And the brave men and women that do that take a risk every day, and they do that to be able to provide a good life for their family. So we turn our thoughts to the grieving family. We pray for peace for that family through this tragedy, that they can somehow find some peace as they deal with what has happened. And then I think we also turn to understand what has happened. How did this come to be? Mm-hmm. Why didn't he make it out? Where did this water come from? Did we know the water was there? Those are questions I think that deserve answers and for the family and for the industry, because you need to learn from these incidents as much as you can to make them safe.
As sad, as tragic as it is to say, every innovation that the coal mining industry has made, a great deal of them, I'll say, have come from a previous tragedy. And that's true of any industry, as you know.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You learn these things. All right, what else you got on the show today?
WVU President Mike Benson at 10:06 joins us. We'll talk a little bit about the governor's announcement today. He did announce, Dave, a new natural gas-fired power plant, a merchant plant in Harrison County, 625 megawatts. So that's the second natural gas plant in as many weeks that have been announced. We'll get into that. Talk with the Committee for Responsible Government on this shutdown deal and the budget. That and much, much more.
Coming up at 10:06, I'll be back later today with Metro News Midday, powered by Salingo Law, with 13 News and Night Live anchor Amanda Bear, and I'll see you then. Until then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.